know, liberal left, mainstream media, they're running with this narrative now that the president is not mentally fit to be in the White House. Is there some damage there?
It's very dangerous. I've railed against the criminalization of political difference. It's getting worse. The psychiatrization of political differences is much more dangerous. It's what they did in Russia. It's what they did in China. It's what they did in apartheid South Africa. If you don't like a candidate, first lock them up. If you can't lock them up, commit him to a mental hospital. There's a professor at Yale named Brandy Lee who has been leading the campaign, saying the president's dangerous. He has access to the nuclear trigger. We may even have to confine him against his will under a kind of commitment law. Imagine how dangerous that would be. And, you know, psychiatrists are notoriously bad at predicting violence.
When he's not even their patient.
And remember that what they're looking at are things they knew about before he was elected president. Look, I didn't like what I saw necessarily, so I did what you do in a democracy. You vote for the candidate you prefer. I preferred Hillary Clinton. I knew about her. I knew about him. I made a balanced judgment. But you don't lock them up. You don't put them in mental hospitals if you don't agree with them. That's so dangerous to democracy.
Helen, so many people on the left, they're looking at the Michael Wolff book and they're talking about how apparently some aides in the West Wing have whispered about, you know, we really should consider the 25th Amendment because the boss, not good upstairs. Explain the 25th Amendment.
25th Amendment is designed for when somebody has a stroke or somebody is unconscious. Perhaps what happened when President Wilson was president and he had a stroke, a serious stroke. It's not designed for differences about a person's emotional makeup. First, the vice president has to invoke it. Second, if the president...
Which would not happen.
No. If the president disputes it, you need 2/3 of both houses of Congress. Forget about it. It would happen only if any president, I'm not talking about a particular one, had a major psychotic break. Look, we once had a Secretary of Defense. His name was Forrester. He jumped out of the window of the Walter Reed Center. He thought the communists were coming after him. He was the Secretary of Defense. Okay, that's a proper basis for removing somebody from office, but not disagreement about policies, politics, style, even emotional approach to problems. You have a president who says, I have a bigger nuclear button than you do. You have a oh, by the way, one of the things she talks about that's a symptom of his mental illness is that he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And so did the majority of the Senate and majority of the House. And so did I support that. Am I getting locked up next?
Yeah, we might need to.
So to quote Alan Dershowitz regarding the 25th Amendment and this president, forget about it.
Forget about it. It's not going to happen unless, you know, God forbid, any president has a stroke or anything like this. But taking what he ran on, and that's why he was elected president, and using that to invoke the 25th Amendment would undercut the basic intent of the framers of the 25th Amendment.
You are a wise guy, sir. Thank you.